The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It is Wednesday, the 8th day of June, 2022. Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House, One Communication, and Lindos. I am Philip Trott. She's Sherry Vanderpool, and Maya Palacio will be here later to bring you the latest in her news break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Good morning to our awesome audience. Thanks for making us part of your daily routine. Got a good one today. We welcome Simone Romaine from Child and Family Services to discuss foster care. The daily play is a sing it, say it, don't sing it. Sherry, you can handle it. I promise you have this one. I promise.
This was the promise yesterday, and I
No.
couldn't get E.T. Richards, and I know that information.
Listen, there are going to be some. I'm going to give you some hints. If you don't get this one, I'm seriously going to question your upbringing.
Not my upbringing.
Your upbringing.
I'm scared.
Yeah, man.
But you're gonna say the question twice, unlike somebody else sometimes that doesn't do that for me.
I don't know.
Phil.
Listen, I don't know how you lot with mugs carry on.
Oh, you lot, and
what?
That's how you're carrying on, Phil? Just because I have.
Yeah.
Man.
That's how I'm rolling. Until I get one, I'm being petty.
What? I have nothing to do with it. But anyway, let's carry on.
So quick question, Sherry. When you come visit Bermuda when you get a chance, when you go and visit St. George's, when's the last time, I'll put it this way, when is the last time you went to see the replica of the Deliverance?
It's been some, as we say, some years.
Donkey's years?
It's been some donkey's years. Let's donkey that twice.
Okay.
It's been a very long time.
Well, it appears that the Corporation of St. George's, right?
Mm-hmm.
They launched a pool because they're trying to figure out what happened, what to do with that replica down there.
Uh-huh.
And apparently it is it's got some extensive rot, as the mayor pointed out, and they're trying to figure out. So they launched a pool. They're trying to figure out what to do with the replica. So I wanted to try and help them out, right? Put the question to the audience: is what do you think should happen to the replica of the Deliverance? Now they did. What?
So you want to help St. George's, but you ain't trying to help me. Go ahead. But that's how you St. George's people are.
My people, look, I gotta help my people.
They need all the help.
Yeah, don't worry about us. Don't worry about it, because you started off this morning rude. It's cool though. Sip your water.
I am. I got some celery juice in here, but go ahead.
Yeah. So, the Corporation of St. George's launched a poll, and some of the questions they go into. Some of the questions are: where do you live, age group, and whatnot. First question is: should we keep the Deliverance? Yes or no? And then the next question is: did you know the Deliverance has extensive wood rot? So I think I think obviously it's some serious situation down there, but I I know personally I haven't been to the replica in, as you know, like you said, donkey's years, but
Uh-huh.
I kind of feel like we should try to keep it because,
Why?
well, I always look at this stuff as like when did we go? We went when we were children.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what about these children?
Okay.
You
And
know what I
the
mean?
thing, I would say, it's part of me is like, gosh, are we keeping the slave ship replica? But then I said, Sherry, just, don't beat your mouth. And really like look at it as it's still a part of history, as is slavery.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, it's still a
yeah,
part of history, right?
yeah.
So because it's a part of history and how we came to be who we are to a certain degree, definitely we should keep excuse me, the replica. I just don't understand why it's so much conversation about it in
Um,
that sense. I think it's there, it's history, repair it, and let's keep it moving.
well, if you're talking about repairing it, costs money
Yeah.
to repair stuff. So
Mm.
another one of the questions: how much are you willing to contribute as a monthly subscription to maintain the deliverance? Monthly too, and the first one they have is $250. Two hundred
Well,
fifty dollars for monthly. Well, okay. Let me say they have. Oh, how did they come? All right, so they have 250. These are the options: $250 monthly, $100 monthly, $15 monthly, and
mhm.
none. So, you know,
And I'm just laughing at how you said none. The thing is, have we been contributing all this time? What are the taxes for the corporation, for the businesses that are there? Um, how have they been maintaining all of these years? Where has the money been coming for that? Why did we let it get extensive?
well, they
What
probably
about it?
haven't
Where
been
was the
maintaining it
maintenance? Well,
if it's got extensive wood rot.
right. But
Jamal
that,
Jamal Jamal just mentioned he has a comment. Is all history worth holding on to? You
I,
know.
I mean, of course I don't want to side with Jamal, but and I think it is worth holding on to it. I think it's in the matter in which we hold on to it. Do
Mhm.
we then just have, a room with pieces of it and have information in regard to it? Or do we definitely need the ship, the vessel right there on Ordnance Island? And
I
I think
think
that's more the question than anything else to me.
I mean I I had well, this is one of the things that I always think about when I go see that thing is that boat's small. Like that's a tiny boat, man, for people to
And
be sailing, across the Atlantic in.
yeah.
And like I mean, it puts that into context.
And it
Um,
puts into context probably why I haven't been there as an adult. Can't
yeah.
fit on in there.
I mean,
Must have been little people.
you go down there to Whitehorse, it's right there.
Yeah. I'm sure Jamal still gives.
Nicole Walker says, "Good morning. I was on Sherry's side until she came for St. George's." Feel all right, Nicole. I'm with you. Don't repeat yourself when it's game time. And she says the deliverance can go, in my opinion.
Oh, Nicole. We'll leave that. But it can get, and that's the thing. I think, as Jamal says, is all history worth holding on to? I still think we should hold on to it. I just don't think we need to hold on to it in the matter of a replica of the ship. Because it's a replica. Am I not correct in saying
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
Phil?
No, it's not the boat.
Is not the boat. So I still feel like it should be highlighted somewhere. We just possibly don't need something that's gonna be costly when it comes to maintenance and keeping it up, as we've been unable to do that as of right now.
Sam Cat Place says Perhaps take pieces of it and put it around St. George's as part of a walking trail around there.
Oh, I like that.
Um, Jamel's back again. Are there other ways to educate people about our history without the presence of the replica and maybe less expensive too?
Yeah. And I think Sam Cat Place had a wonderful idea, as I indicated as well, having possibly just a room or a museum in regard to the whole process of how the deliverance came to Bermuda and the reasons behind it. I thought we had, is it the Heritage Museum in St. George's? I think
Yeah.
that's no longer open, correct?
The
Nicole,
uh,
help me out. I don't think it's still open, and but maybe opening that back up again and putting those pieces or that information about the deliverance into that museum, or a smaller portion of the deliverance outside the museum.
so I was thinking, I said, let me make sure I get my history right.
Hmm.
I want to take just a couple minutes to read this piece. But I went and said, let me get some
You and I
background on
both.
the deliverance, right? All right. So I'm on the tourism website right now. Um, Currently closed for tours and under maintenance. I don't know if it's under maintenance. Why is it anyway? Why are we having problems with it? A full-size replica of a legendary 17th century ship at the Deliverance, located in historic St. George's on Bermuda's East End. From the town of St. George's, you'll cross blah 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 blah. Audiovisual exhibits offer a glimpse into maritime life during the colonial era. Built in Bermuda by survivors of the sea venture with wreckage from that ship. The Deliverance went on to bring vital supplies to the colony at Jamestown in 1610, and as a result, is referred to as the ship that saved America. Now, that might be something historically to bring tourists to the area to educate them and maybe spend some money. I don't know. I'm grasping at straws right now, but
I
you never
think
know.
again, it's the information versus the representation, right?
Hmm.
So we want the information and want people to know our history, how Bermuda came about, and so forth. Again, do we have to have it in the form of a replica of a ship that cannot be maintained?
Hmm.
Because it can't be. If the Corporation of Hamilton is asking for people to
St.
pay a
George's.
monthly. I'm sorry, my
See how you are?
apologies. My apologies. No, my apologies. The Corporation of St. George is asking for a monthly subscription. Let's
Well, they I don't know if they're asking. I think they're just pulling to see
a
if people will
membership.
be. Yeah, and
Are you
not
gonna?
not. I don't know if it's not membership. I think they're just saying, like, because it's a pill. They're trying to figure out what to do with it, right? So they're just seeing if that's something people be willing to do.
No, I don't
Uh,
think people will be. I
Not people
don't.
for Somerset anyway.
Well, them included. However, I don't think, and I could be wrong. I don't think the residents of St. George's may put the money behind that. I feel like it's other things that you have going on. We have businesses that indicated that they have, are struggling, don't have enough tourists or people visiting them. I doubt if they're saying people will be putting that money towards a replica,
Mm.
you
Let's
know?
go with some more comments. You can take Renee Simmons.
Okay. It's a shipwreck. The best place for it is overboard in the ocean. Stabilize it to concrete and put it where it actually sailed at the other side of St. George's near the battery.
You know what though?
It's not a bad idea.
I know Jamal says he agrees, but the thing is, I'm wondering, like, you're gonna put a wooden boat that's already got rot
What a
in the water. Uh, mm.
but I understand what you're saying. It
Yeah.
it just becomes what it is. You could take people out on bed and say, look, that piece of wood right there
Yeah.
is the deliverance.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Ship Uranus, Sea Venture was the ship. Yeah, I think we had that right. That's what I read.
Hmm.
Built in Bermuda by survivors of the Sea Venture with wreckage from that ship.
Right.
The Deliverance went on
Deliverance.
to bring. Yeah. Okay. Make sure I got it right. Sam Cat Plays wants to know, what does this subscription get me? My name and where my forefathers come from in Africa. No, oh,
This is
six runs,
it.
6 runs to the boundary.
This is
That's
it.
hey, hey, is it, no, it won't. So but she
And
raises
yet
a
you
point.
and you're asking an area. No, yeah, I agree with. I was going to say something, but I changed my mind.
Yeah,
You know,
be ready.
I am. But again, yeah. But Sam, Cat, it's a part of history, whether we
Yeah.
like it or not. It's still a part of our history, and these
Um,
stories and different things need to still be told.
yeah, I think, but then you get back into Jamal saying, can we, other ways to educate our history without the presence of a replica? The replica probably is obviously is expensive to maintain.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I don't know, man. Traveling Trotty says it should be moved to a museum. And that thing
And
takes up a lot of space, by the way. I mean,
yeah, we could
it's a
do
small ship, but it takes up like the area around it. I mean, that's a good chunk of land that, I don't mean, well, we probably could do something else with the space.
Well, I mean, I would like to know, would like to see what was the plan for it from the very beginning, right? So it's been there for a very, very long time. What
Hmm.
was the plan from the very beginning? I know the plan would have changed over the years, but there had to have been something in place for that to have been put there in the very beginning. I do remember going as a young tot. Um,
Hmm.
but the key word to me is it's a replica. It's not the official, and there's some pieces there that are. But again, put it in a museum, break it down and put it in a museum. When you go in there, do you remember what's in there, Phil?
No, because I went when I was a shorty too. Like that was a long time ago.
Right.
But I
So
would I would probably, not having a child now, having a son now, I would probably, maybe take him around there and show him, exactly like that's it. And that's the thing about like our history. Like we can introduce pieces of the history
yeah.
that maybe weren't as favorable to us, and um frame it in such a way that presents a more accurate portrayal of history, of like what part we played in
Mm-hmm.
Bermuda's history. Um,
No. Yeah.
Let me see some more comments. Michael Daniels says Deliverance should be part of a larger maritime museum. Um, Traveling
And
Trotty says, let me just go to her. For
mhm.
students and tourists, a replica is better to learn and see to make connections. Yeah.
And I was going to say maybe it should be a part of a larger maritime. And I mean, the only other one would be as far as in Dockyard, correct? And I would figure that the replica is put in St. George's to drive tourists to that end of the island as well,
Hmm.
is my perception. And I agree with Traveling Trotty. A replica is better. And to make connections, but if we have this other portion of not being able to maintain it, then what's the alternative?
I I'm still conflicted, to be honest, because the size, again, the size of the replica does give you a sense of like how small the boat was, and you know traveling across the ocean in that little thing. Um, the comments are coming fast and furious now. Hold on.
Well, come on, Phil. Click,
Jamel
click.
says Gombe Museum first. That I, you know what? I co-signed that one.
I do too, and I had that in the forefront of my mind. It's like, if we can't have a Gombe museum, then like seriously.
Yeah. Take do the next to Aaron Smith.
Take a video of what's left and place in a museum. The way you save space and people can still experience the way you save space and people can still experience it.
And Sam Cat Place says, sorry, my name on a plaque along with others and where we came from. We are part of history. All right, let's bring Maya in there now. Maya, you being the youngest, I don't show any ageism. You know how we get
Easy
when
for
we
you.
talk about social media. But do you remember going to the deliverance? You do?
Yeah, of course.
Really? When last year did you go?
Well, to be actually quite honest, I think I actually went last year just by myself, just to go to it and take a look.
Really?
You couldn't go in. It was probably
no, you couldn't go in. But like, I just went to it and I kind of just peeped in and I just walked around it and I was just like, okay, yeah, this is deliverance. Over there's that statue. I think it's going to be taken down. You know, just like peeping through, having a little St. George's Day to myself. So yeah, that's probably the last time I saw it.
All right. Okay. Well, I don't think we've come to any real conclusion on this. So
I have some ideas.
Oh, go ahead. What are you gonna say?
I will say I understand the statement of putting it in the ocean, and I think it's hilarious, but I don't want to ruin our marine ecosystem by doing that in a little area.
Ah, I see what you did.
I did too.
I see what you did. Something right. All right, Maya, take it away.
Good morning. Thank you, Phil, and thank you, Sherry, and thank you everyone listening in this morning and making the Daily Hour a part of your daily routine. I'm Maya Palacio, and this is the Daily Hour News Break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Even the smallest grain of rice can tip the scale. Citizens uprooting racism in Bermuda, CURB, once again have taken upon themselves to educate and inform the youth of Bermuda alongside specifically selected officers of the Bermuda Police Union. Due to the rise in gang culture and violence in Bermuda, officers have been conducting forums at nearly every school in Bermuda to educate young Bermudians on gang culture. The topics covered are male and female juveniles and adult involvement in gangs, police investigation of gang violence and prosecution in Bermuda, and gang violence effects on the family and friends in Bermuda. After the school presentation, follow-up discussions with a select group of students occur. The topics have been chosen prior by the schools themselves or around recent criminal events in the community. The goal of these discussions are to educate our youth so they can make better choices. This initiative has been running for more than 2 months, and the forum will continue with the intent to work with each school on the island. CURB would like the community to recognize that positive, intentional action is being taken place. They have seen a need in the community and through their charity organization have decided to fill that need. I will be attending the next presentation and will have a full coverage video on my platform at Media Maya. Make sure you pick up that reusable bottle before you head to the door. Today is World Ocean Day, and the Bermuda Underwater Exploration Institute, BUEI, is celebrating with 260 students and educators from 18 schools. They will be touring BUEI's newest exhibits through the informative, hands-on educational tour about Bermuda's marine ecosystem, history and discovery, and sustainability practices. I went on a tour yesterday with Delton E. Tucker Primary School, and here's a quick look at the tour in this short video.
The BUEI Education Department is hosting this event today and tomorrow to celebrate World Oceans Day. So we're highlighting a couple of our new exhibits here today. So we have our Seagrass exhibit and our Sargasso Sea exhibit, but we're also hosting our Eco Schools Showcase. So all of our eco schools and eco clubs this year have been working really hard, and I wanted to help them celebrate. So we're giving out our awards to them in person today, which is really exciting.
What was your favorite part of this tour? Go ahead.
The virtual reality.
Virtual reality?
The dive.
The dive? Go ahead.
Mission objectives: investigate atmospheric disturbances at Carbon Hole, an underwater anomaly at Hungry Bay.
Here at BUEI, we run the Eco Schools Bermuda program, and it's an international program that helps support local eco clubs in their schools. And to have that in Bermuda is so important because we have a lot of these students that are so passionate about the environment. They want to do something sustainable, but they just don't have the means to do so. So here at BUEI, we give them kind of the framework throughout the year, the different steps to follow, the different topics to follow, and it's really exciting to give them kind of that path to follow and really have them have success in the schools, and they absolutely love it.
I would definitely say I was just as excited as the students were learning all that information again. Okay, and now let's take a look at today's weather. Much of the week promises to remain dry and sunny. However, there's a chance for a few showers toward the end of the week. Today will be mostly sunny with some occasional clouds. Winds east-southeasterly light to moderate, varying southeasterly this afternoon. And we will have a high near 78 degrees Fahrenheit today. That's all for me. I'm Maya Palacio for the Daily Hour News Break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Now back to Phil and Sherry for your Daily Focus.
Thanks, Maya. That was nice. Out there with the little kiddies.
It was honestly a lot of fun.
Oh, awesome. Well, our day of the year, in continuation of what Maya just spoke about, today is World Oceans Day. And the purpose of this day is to raise awareness among people about the impact of human actions on the ocean and to mobilize citizens for their sustainable management. This year's theme is revitalization, the collective action for the ocean. And beyond plastics, Bermuda is doing some local collective action by leading the charge against single-use plastics. Beyond Plastics Bermuda is a partnership between Keep Bermuda Beautiful, or KBB, Green Rock, as well as several environmental advocates. You can find out more about them on Facebook on their page, Beyond Plastics Bermuda. So summertime is coming up and it's lots of boats out on the ocean. Please, when you're rafting up, put it in the trash.
Just drink it out the cup, man.
Yes,
or drink it out the bottle, and put your stuff in the trash can. A lot of people complain about the paper straws. Yes. I don't mind the paper straws. Just drink your stuff faster. Go ahead, Maya, real quick. We gotta go. Really go ahead. What's happening?
The bamboo straws, actually. I've had the bamboo straws and they've been the best.
I do like the bamboo straws.
And they're much wider as well, so you don't nothing gets stuck and it's not peeling apart. And I got that, I believe it was at Kristen White's store in St. George's. She had the bamboo straws. That's right.
Oh, she sells them.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's get cracking. Maya, thank you. That was a great little piece that you brought with us. We'll talk to you later. See you later. And Sherry, we're going to go to a commercial break and we'll be right back. Everybody, please don't go away. We'll be right back with Simone Romaine for our daily focus.
Let's face it, life can be a little wild, but shopping doesn't have to be. I choose People's, so that whether it's a prescription that needs to be filled, a toy for my little terror, or a gift for a new addition to the family, we'll see about that. Everything's available in one convenient location. Some call it People's. I call it my one-stop shop in the city. People's, we're here for you.
We're featuring a range of remarkably effective household cleaning solutions made with ecologically sound ingredients and pleasing fragrances from Ecos, a company with over 50 years' experience producing plant-powered cleaning products. The founder was a veteran chemist in the cleaning products industry and started up Ecos as a response to the harsh chemicals he had routinely encountered. Try Ecos non-abrasive cream cleanser, vinegar window cleaner, and in spray bottles, Orange Plus and Parsley Plus cleaners, shower and floor cleaners, furniture polish, and stain and odor remover. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
Mom's celebrating her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dandytown Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
Welcome back to the big show. I'm Philip Trott. She's Sherry Vanderpool. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy. It's
You
time
got
to
it.
welcome our I know, right? It's time to welcome our guest for today, Simone Romaine. How you doing, Simone? Welcome back to
Good
the show.
morning. How
How's
you
everybody
doing?
today?
Oh, wow.
Everybody's good. How
She
y'all
is a
doing?
ball of energy. Hi,
She is,
Simone.
man.
Hi.
All right, it's good to have you back.
Glad to be
We're going to
back.
be talking about foster care again. Now, the last time you were here for Foster Care Awareness Month, that was on May 3rd. You
Yes.
spoke to us about the nuts and bolts of foster care and like the overall structure of how
hmm
children come into foster care. So just give us a brief summary for those who may have missed that episode. Just talk a little bit about the foster care program in Bermuda, if you can, please.
Okay, so what I wanted to talk to you about as well was how a child comes into the care of the department, period. I think a lot of people have the assumption, as Sherry would know, we're baby snatchers. We just go and take children from their families. That's not the case. It's a process. And I like to use an analogy that one of our magistrates often use. He talks about stoplights, right? And so we all can relate to a stoplight. You have green, which is go, amber, which is caution, and then red, stop, right? And so every day you and I feel you have children and all those people with children who are not involved in the system. We're go. We do whatever we like with our children. We move through those stoplights daily. And it's always green. We don't have to seek advice on we don't have to consult with anybody on what we do for our children. We do everything as parents individually. And then there's a referral to Department of Child and Family Service, whether it be due to neglect, some form of abuse, either whether it be sexual or physical. And then we move to caution. We move to that amber light, right? Where it's like, okay, is some caution needed. There are some interventions that need to be put in place to support this family in giving this child their best care. And so the department works with families during that time to try to fix things, to support them so that things can go where the child can remain in the home and live their best life with their biological family. Unfortunately, sometimes the stoplight has to turn green. Has to turn red, in that a child has to be removed from a family for safety purposes, for safety reasons. Workers have determined, and the courts have determined overall, that the parental responsibility needs to be turned over to the Department of Child and Family Services, and that's when a child then comes to foster care. So that's the process. It's not always an immediate process, in the sense that here today, the child's with their biological family, and then tomorrow they're swept away. There's a lot of work being done behind the scenes, whether it's our intake team who is immediately assessing the situation for safety purposes and determining whether or not this is actually a child protection risk for the child. And then it's our family preservation team that's doing all that work in the amber phase. They're the ones who are going into the home, working with the parents, making referrals to whatever agencies in the community that the family may need to support them during this time as they're working on being their best and getting themselves together to be best for their families, right? For their children. Foster care comes in during that red light when, all that work has been done behind the scenes, and Sherry knows that work can go on from anything from 6 months to years, where we will be working with a family constantly trying to keep the children and maintain them with their biological families in their biological homes, right? So when they got to us at that red light, when the magistrate probably says stop, or it's been done, and we assume parental responsibility, that's when foster care comes into play. And I
to take on a different avenue. And I was going to say, as a former social worker myself, I've heard that analogy over and over again from that magistrate. And I used to be like, seriously, but it makes sense. But in the space I am in now, I recruit foster parents for a program called Transitional Foster Care. I find the challenges for some families having wanting to be foster parents center around their views that all children come in care are bad, or if I have a baby, it would be easier. Speak to us about the challenges you see in Bermuda that foster care is having now.
So we're having challenges basically with recruitment as well. We don't have an agency that just recruits foster parents. We basically come on shows like the Daily Hour and by word of mouth. Like we have some social workers, one being me, who will call up a teacher and say, "Listen, you got a really good relationship with Johnny. You thought about taking him, and we'll recruit that way, or talking to family and recruiting." One of the challenges is the myths, right? Bermuda's such a small community, and people are under the impression that if they're not married, then they can't be foster parents. No, we love the single parent. They are great. They are great. And we put supports in place to support them. The challenge is, I think that because Bermuda is so small, people don't want the drama that they believe comes with fostering. It's not all that really sometimes. It's really not.
Yeah.
I know as family members, if there's, because these children come from somewhere, they have a family. And I think that sometimes families feel like, oh, I do not want to deal with the drama of the mother and the father. And I get that, right? Because if that's a family member who's been in and out of your home, causing a ruckus, you're like, if I take the child, they can continue in that vein. There are things that can be put in place through the department that can minimize that. I can't say it's going to stop it because people are people. We have no control over people. But we can minimize that with systems. So instead of you handing the foster parent or that relative handing over the child has to come through the department as a means of transitioning, or school is used as a transition place where the parent will pick the child up from school. But the other thing people don't realize is there are people who recognize that they cannot do it. They cannot parent. And they actually do not seek out their children. We have many children in foster care who, sadly to say, have little to no engagement with the biological parents or the biological family for that matter. And that could be for a number of reasons. So I'm not jabbing at anyone.
Right.
Everybody has their own baggage. Everybody has their own burdens to carry. And I actually respect that parent who says, you know what, I can't do it. I'm going to let somebody else do it, as opposed to that parent who makes those promises. I'm coming to get you. You're going to be out of foster care by your birthday. And then birthday comes. You'll be out by Christmas. And then Christmas comes. And we go through that cycle again and again, setting the children up for false hopes, right? So,
yeah, I have definitely been there and heard those things before. So I understand exactly where you're coming from. But speak to us about, we talked about the challenges. What are the benefits of being a foster parent? I don't think that we hear those messages a lot. We hear about all the bad things that happen, but we don't hear about the positive and the benefits of taking a child into your space.
It can be an amazing experience. The secret's now out, so I guess I can share it. I am actually a foster parent. I am a kinship provider to a family member, and she's actually preparing to age out, so I can talk about it freely now. But it's been a pleasure having her, and she is welcome to stay in my home as long as she wants, right? But I can't even remember. She's been with us for 4 years, and I can't even remember her not being with us. Right. My daughter gained a big sister at the end of the day, and they love each other like sisters. Like my daughter, on there's good days, will say, my sister, my sister, my sister. When there's bad days, she's my cousin, and can she go back to her mama? But that's 9-year-olds for you, right? But it's been an awesome experience. My friends have embraced her. For her 14th birthday, I gave her godparents. A few of my friends who have been my supports for her stepped up and said, yeah, I will be her honorary godma. So she got 3 honorary godmas who are amazing, and she adds to their lives. School. I'm planning graduation. You know what I mean? We're planning graduation. We have some children doing amazing things. Not all of our children come in broken. They come in bruised, because removal from your biological family that's a bruising. That's attachment. It is. I can't deny it, right? They stop being normal because life for them is no longer normal. It's not like that normal child, that typical child, I guess. But it's a rewarding experience. And even as a social worker, I mean, our children come into care, and a lot of times they stay on our caseload for years. And I've been in foster care for 6 years. I've had the majority of my clients are the same clients that I had when I started 6 years ago. So, just to give you a story, I have a young lady who's going to middle school. And, we went and did a home visit, and teasingly, me and my partner said, "So what, you inviting us to your graduation?" And she was like, "Oh no, one got this person coming and that person coming." And we were like, "No worries, we'll just call your principal and see if we could get in on the side." Well, she is actually head girl of her primary school, and she went to her principal and found out that we hadn't made that call yet. And so she advocated and asked if she could invite us to her graduation. So now I'm going to another graduation, right? Because we become such a part of her life that she wants us to be there to support her as well. We do graduations. I've been to recitals. And unfortunately, I've also been to funerals to support my children. We have children who've lost parents. We do all of that as foster parents, as well as social workers in support of our children in care. So it is, Sherry. There are some days where I wake up and I'm just amazed, and I'm blessed because I've always wanted more than one child, and this enabled me to do that.
And I think people, don't look at the human aspect of it and that the family aspect of it. I think we just look like we're just removing children and placing them in homes that, kids don't do well in. But some kids thrive, some families thrive.
Yes.
Sometimes that kid is just a benefit to this family and kind of unites this family into a different place. But I found my seasoned foster parents that they are grateful for training in regards to abuse, trauma, and overall parenting, because we have to be honest, those things do come along with, as you said, some children that are bruised, right?
Yes.
How important is foster care managers to support the foster parents, and what supports do you guys offer?
I mean, it's even myself being a social worker and having the skills that I have. I couldn't have done it without my social worker or my foster care team. They know that on these rough days, I will come in and be like, "Guys, listen." And so they would have to talk me through the process and talk me off the cliff sometimes, because even though I have the knowledge that I have, there were some days when, there were some days, let's just put it like that. But at the big scheme of things, it was good because that social worker is always there. The department provides 24-hour support in on-call social workers. So if anything happens in your home in a 24-hour period, during the workday, you can consult your own social worker. And then after 5, we have an on-call social worker and an on-call supervisor who is there to support you between 5 p.m. and 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock the next morning. So we provide round-the-hour support to our foster parents and the community, actually. But also, we do trainings. We don't do as much as I think we should, and that's just my own personal opinion. I think that, you could never get enough training. That's just me personally. We try to do quarterly trainings as much as possible. COVID kind of jabbed that for us a bit, but we're actually getting back on track now. But we provide training around trauma. I actually did a training in last year for raising tweens and teens, and looking at it from the aspect of they're actually going to a foreign land when they come into your house. So it's like when you go on vacation and you go to Germany and you don't speak German, and you don't know the culture of Germany, you have to try to assimilate. The same is for a child who's going into care. Your home is like a whole new world for them. They've never experienced your traditions. They've never experienced your way of living. It's all new, and they're still learning to speak your language. And so training is important to help people understand that, and also helping people understand that they're not going to assimilate as quickly as you would like them. They're not going to shift. They're going to do it in time. I often tell my families the first 18 months are the hardest. The first 18 months are the hardest. And once you get through that, you have ups and downs, but you have ups and downs of biological children. So you'll have those growing pains. You'll still have those things that you will have because children are growing, evolving, and developing. But for the most part, the transitional period of the first 18 months is the most important, and helping people to understand that and get the services that they need. We also do family therapy. For foster parents, we do connection therapy, which attachment. So it is like family sessions, but it allows them to process things in that safe and therapeutic environment. It also, we do therapy with that foster families so that they can better understand the dynamics and things that the children are bringing to their home. We do play therapy with the children when they transition into a home. We also connect you to services as well outside of the department. So other professional agencies such as the Family Center and we use all of these other agencies as well as private psychologists for that. We also now have just started a mentor program with trying to get that up and running, where we having more seasoned social workers, more seasoned foster parents. When we get new foster parents on board, we assign a person to kind of be their go-to person, so that they can call them if they just want to shoot the breeze, if they're just having a challenge that they don't feel like they need to take to the social worker, but somebody to kind of buddy with and mentor them as well.
And
I was actually
hold on. I
go
was
ahead.
going to say one thing, Phil, and I was going to just piggyback off of what Simone said in regard to, for people who are listening, experience this for yourself and not take on anybody else's experience. Everybody's experience is different. So if you're interested in being a foster parent, don't listen to somebody else's experience. Take it on for yourself. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Phil.
No, but that's like being a regular parent. Some people have good experiences, some people have bad. Simone, I was just gonna, you kind of touched on it just now. I was gonna ask you, what's the community like around with the foster parent community and the foster child community? Like, what type of events do you guys do events together, like get together and sort of so the parents can feel like it's not just me, the child can feel like it's not just me? Like, do you guys have any of those types of events going on?
So we do have the Foster Parent Association, which is a charity, and they actually host a Christmas party every year. That's the one time that we try to get all of the families together. Individually on our caseloads, if we have sibling sets and they are in separate homes, we try to connect the foster families, and a lot of them do that on their own. Just to show you, give you an example, we have a group of children. They are in 3 separate foster placements, but there's 3 siblings. And the foster parents got together and actually did a photo shoot with them. So they did a photo shoot together. And there's another child in one of the homes. And because that child has such a connection with the part of that sibling set, they included that child in the photo shoot too. So unfortunately, again, it's like, I think that we don't do enough, and maybe that's something that the Foster Parent Association could do more of. But as individual social workers, we try our best to connect the sibling sets, as well as, like I said, that mentoring of trying to connect people to a mentor. Also, we found that when we were doing in-person trainings, people were connecting during those trainings and exchanging numbers. I had 2 foster families. They both had boys at the time, and they were around the same age, and they exchanged numbers, and they would get together often and do play dates with the 2 boys, and also talk between each other about challenges that they were having. The boys had some similar behaviors, and that was very helpful. So we try to do things like that, but unfortunately it's only 8 hours in a workday for us. And as we try to manage everything, those are some of the things, unfortunately, that slip through the crack. And hopefully we can get the Foster Parent Association to pick those things up, but that's not a remit of us. That's a separate organization.
We do have some positive comments coming in. Traveling Trotty says, Simone, you're truly a gem for the work you do for our young people. Thank you.
Thank you, Traveling Trotty.
And Shayna, where is it? Shayna Smith says, as a social worker that works with seniors, I'm enjoying this conversation on the foster care experience and learning a lot. Ms. Romaine is very knowledgeable and passionate. I love it.
Thank you.
I wanted to deviate a little bit, right? Because we talked, well, not me, but earlier in the week, we talked about employment opportunities for young people coming back to Bermuda and whatever. Can you just talk really briefly about some of the employment opportunities, not even so much just in child and family services, but the other organizations that you work with, like maybe family law, other psychologists, behavioral therapists, like any of the other types of careers that are associated that you may have to interact with working in child and family services?
Okay, so Department of Child and Family Services is saturated. We have people who are working as social work assistants, and they actually have master's degrees. So, but there is opportunities as things change and shift, and people move, for them to move on up. We work with psychologists, we work with play therapists, we work with lawyers, because we have people who we have biological parents who may get a lawyer to come to court, and then we in turn have to get a lawyer through the government, through AG's chambers. We we work with department child and adolescent services. We work in schools. We work with schools. We work with all types of agencies. I would encourage anybody who is looking towards this field that before you come here with just a degree in social work, that you got a specialization, that you maybe add on or something, play therapy, art therapy, do some law courses. I just say don't come back with just social work. You have to have something else that's going to sell you. In the Department of Child and Family Services, we hire social workers, but we also hire people with a psychology background as well, with a therapeutic background as well. I would say that the field is growing, shifting, and so I think that it's really it's an oyster, like in the sense that I think it's opportunities in this field. It's just finding them, because there's a lot of cracks, and that's the real. It's a lot of cracks, and if you can find a crack in the pavement and fill that void, we will, we appreciate it. For example, we have drivers that that we use to take our children to appointments, and different things like that. So there's a little bit of something out there for everybody.
Okay. Thanks for that. Rosalind Famous just wants to ask, how many children are in foster care in Bermuda approximately?
Currently, we have approximately 65 children in foster care in Bermuda.
Okay.
We have approximately 70 families that are open homes at this point in time. We'd like to have a surplus of at least 10 families for children, just in case an emergency pops up, because anything could happen on any given day that may require a child to go into care.
And
but
you said,
I would tell you that number will probably be higher if we had more foster parents.
When you say, just so I know, because I'm slow, open homes, when you say open homes, is that somebody that's paired with a child already, or that's a home that's available?
So we have 70 open homes, meaning 65 of them, because children are in foster care, have foster placements in them. So we have 5 that are open. But I also have to highlight that being a foster parent sometimes doesn't mean that you're a foster parent every day. We have respite foster parents, who are amazing people, who open their homes on weekends and for emergency settings, and keep children. So that actually is a good way for somebody to kind of test the waters to see if this is something that they want to do. You can go through the process of becoming a foster parent, but you can offer your services in the beginning as a respite foster parent, which would mean, like, for example, if a foster parent has to go away and can't take the child for whatever reason, then that respite foster parent will step in and take the child during that time. Because sometimes what happens is we have a child comes into care, they don't have a passport. The family has already planned a vacation, and as much as they're willing to take the child, we already know it takes 11 weeks.
Right.
So we can't get that emergency passport unless it's medical now. That child will need a respite person, to a respite family during that vacation time. Also, we have children who, listen, as a parent, I need a break. I like my weekend free at least once. I got a little break. Well, we need to offer the same things to foster parents as well, because they're doing the heavy lifting. So we have respite providers who may take the child for a weekend. We have some children who have very high needs and are in therapeutic settings, and they may get 2 weekends where the child will go to a respite foster placement. So we do offer those type of things as well.
All right. Just one final question, and this also same question that's coming in from the audience as well. If someone is interested in being a foster parent, what is the process that they need to go through, and where can we get more information on how to sign up as a foster parent?
So the first thing you would do is call my amazing coordinator. Shout out to my foster care coordinator, Selena Simons, who can be reached on 294-5871. I repeat, 294-5871. Email smsimons, smsimons@gov.bm. That's your first point of contact. She will have you come in with, if it's your single person, yourself. If it's if you're married, you need to come in with your significant other, your partner, and also if you're just in a relationship, bring them in. She will have a conversation with you. She'll talk about the ins and outs, the process of becoming a foster parent. And if you're still game at that time, she will give you some forms to complete. You have to get a medical check by your doctor. The health department has to come to your home to ensure that it's a safe place for children, especially babies. So it's a little bit more strict if you're having younger children in your home, whereas it's so it's a process. So they check to make sure that your gates are safe, your rails are safe, your yard is safe, those type of things, and we'll point out whatever needs to be fixed. So it doesn't mean that you can't do it, it just means you have to fix it. And also we do a home study where we have an outside social worker come in. They will ask you questions about your lifestyle, how you live, how you were raised, just to ensure that you're coming on board for the right reasons, and also you have the right qualities to be a successful foster parent. Some people have great intentions, but this is not for the weak. This is not for the faint heart. Like it's a tough job. But there's some amazing people out there doing it. But some people have great intentions, but it's not always the right fit. And so we need to be sure on the beginning end that we're not setting you up for failure. So that's why we have the process that we do.
Awesome.
But I would encourage anybody who's even just thinking about it, if it's an inkling in your mind, you can call me. I can be reached on 294-5872. My email address is srromaine, like the letters ROMAINE @gov.bm. I am always open to entertain questions, anything foster care. This is what I do. I do it at home and I do it at work. I love it. It has been an amazing 5 years. Also, just want to highlight one more thing. The teenagers are amazing. And that's where the need really is. We have children who are languishing in care in Birmingham and early at a cottage because there's no one to take. People think that teenagers are the hardest. They're not. Honestly, they're not.
And
so shout out to my teenager.
And that's Selena Simons with an I.
Thank you, Sherry Barry. Yes, Selena Simons with an I.
Man, hey, look, man, Simone, listen, from us to you, your team at Child and Foster Care is amazing. Like anybody that takes this type of responsibility on, I have to just give them kudos. Foster care parents that take this on, I have to give them the flowers as well, because I know it's not, it can't possibly be easy. I can't imagine, just bringing a teenager into the house and being able to care for them. And like I applaud you guys that do this, man. I appreciate you, man.
Yes, thank you. I just want to shout out to the whole of DTFS and especially to my foster care team. We do amazing work. Amazing foster parents who are doing the heavy lifting every day, as I say.
Clap.
Yes.
Is that Hedleen in the background? I'm sure.
And I just want to give a shout out to Hedleen Stevenson Swan, who is like beaming because she's like, oh my gosh, you're a celebrity. You're on the Daily Hour. So shout out to her, who is at her desk grinning from ear to ear as I speak and laugh. And I heard her laughing in the background. So
Suddenly we said good morning.
Yes. She's watching.
Okay. Good morning, Hedleen. All right. We do have to go, but we just want to thank you again for coming on. Anytime you need to come back and talk more about child foster care, you're more than welcome to come on. Thanks for trusting our show. Thanks for being with us this morning.
Thank you, Daily Hour.
No problem. We'll talk to you later. Have a great one.
Bye,
all right.
Bye.
Great conversation, man.
Yes.
We'll talk
Yes.
about it on the other end, Sherry. We'll be right back with the daily play. You got it. Trust me, you got it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. We'll be right back.
All right.
A lot happens around your home. That is why at One Communications, we have introduced affordable security and video monitoring, because everyone should be able to afford to protect their family. Anytime, from anywhere, One Home Security keeps you connected and puts security in your hands with an easy-to-use smartphone app to control everything. Home security is important to keep you and your family safe. Motion-activated cameras around your home and security monitoring within create a complete security system providing protection both inside and outside your home. Professional monitoring means that there's someone on call with 24/7 protection to notify the authorities and help keep you and your loved ones safe. We are dedicated to whole home protection with indoor and outdoor cameras, smart door locks, motion sensors, and more, so you'll always be connected to what matters most. With professional installation, no upfront hardware fees, and low monthly rates, because keeping your family safe should be affordable for everyone. Total home video monitoring and security, there's no better way to protect your home than with One Home Security.
Welcome back to the big show. I'm Philip Trott. She's Sherry Vanderpool. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy. It's time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Heineken 0.0. Great taste, no alcohol. Sherry, are you ready?
I think so.
I think you got this one. No.
Okay.
I'll give you a clue first. It's World Ocean Day. Okay?
Okay.
Here's the lyrics. Say it, don't sing it. Here's the lyrics. The seaweed is always greener in somebody else's lake. Your dream is about going up there, but that is a big mistake. Just look at the world around you, right here on the ocean floor. Such wonderful things surround you. What more is you looking for? Please tell me you got this one.
Caribbean Queen. I don't know. Under the Sea. I don't know.
Thank you, Sherry.
Yeah!
You have me worried. Oh my gosh, you have me worried.
Under the Sea.
Oh Lord, She said Caribbean Queen.
Like, what ocean song? I was like, Caribbean.
Because I was gonna question your childhood, man.
Well, you should have, because that still was like on the borderline of not my childhood.
And I was hoping. Listen, I said, please don't make me have to do it in that horrible Jamaican accent that they did in the movie. Or then let me have to go and start reading the chorus.
Oh my God! Did anybody?
I'm so glad you got it.
Did anyone get it? Did the audience
yes.
get it?
Rosalind Famous said Little Mermaid. Yes, the right movie. Some Little Mermaid. So yeah. Nikki got it.
All right, Nikki.
Oh, Rosalind Famous did get it. All right. So
Okay,
we did have some smart people in the audience. And well done to you too. Congratulations.
Thank you. I think it's you, Phil. I think it's you. But thank
well,
you
weren't
very
very
much.
nice to me early in the show, but you know.
I was. You're the one that brought it up about the cup. But anyway, as we digress, let's go here, move on, and
let's wrap this up, please. Final thoughts.
I think in regards to the deliverance, it's many different ways you can go about doing this. I don't think we necessarily need a pill, break it down, put it in a place that people can learn about it and keep it moving. As far as child and family services, when it comes to foster care, this is my passion as a social worker. So I just encourage for people to put themselves forward and become foster parents. It is rewarding. It has its benefits. It has its downs. But at the same token, I think it's still a beneficial aspect for a family. So please reach out to Simone or Selena for that.
I do have to, again, congratulate you and people that work in the social services system.
Thank you.
We need more of you. Daily inspiration, what you got?
I have. You are the CEO of your life. Hire, fire, and promote accordingly. That was from an unknown source.
Okay. Yeah, man. I think we had a great show today. I really appreciate Simone coming. Great
And
talk about. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. And I was gonna say I won that Under the Sea by Heineken 0.0. Is that correct? That was daily
I
play
think
was
we can give you that one. We'll give you
okay.
those points. We'll give you those points. Bermuda, thank you for tuning in with us. For everybody that's watching online, for everybody tuning in via radio, we appreciate you. Thanks for coming on. We'll hopefully see you again tomorrow. Please tune in again tomorrow. We'll be here. I'm Philip Trott. She's Sherry Vanderpool. Thanks for being with us and enjoy the rest of your day. We love you. Oh, wow. Okay. Whatever. Bye.
Bye.